Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Can we also cover the audio is good? You can hear me loud and clear. Give me a call. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining. I see Clement as well. Good morning to you, sir. Felix, good morning. You're welcome. Adeyemi on my call. Sure. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining. Issa Fatigue, thank you for the confirmation. Thank you for joining as well. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Thank you very much. Anayo Chukwu, good morning to you. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you very much for the confirmation. It's the bar. Thank you very much, sir, for the confirmation. Thank you for joining as well. Thank you, sir. Good morning and welcome to you all. Thanks for the confirmation. Okay, let's get right to it very quickly. Good morning once again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to today's edition of our morning market review. Today being the fourth day of November 2025. All right. If it's your first time as well, thank you for taking the time out to join us. It's great to have you on this forum. All right. Also, as a quick reminder, of course, on this forum every day, we get to look at what's going on in the markets, especially as it concerns fundamental and technical setups that we have. And we also do this with the hope that we'll be able to pick a few entries for these sessions and trade ideas, especially for today. All right. And even for the rest of the week. So sometimes we also get to look at some of the assets that we can also have for our watch list, uh, even after today. Okay. All right. Without further ado, we get right to it. And usually we start with the majors, and then from there we start examining other pairs of interest. Okay. And what are we looking for? We want to get the important key levels. Okay. We want to get the important key levels for those pairs. All right. Getting the important key levels also mean that we understand from there, we can understand the potential trade setups for those assets. Okay. And like I said, it's going to be for today and for the rest of the week as well. Okay. We also do all of this on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, with the hope that when you listen long enough, you're also able to come up with your own profitable strategies that eventually gives you an edge over the markets, because at the end of the day, it's all about the edge. Okay. So let me share my screen. Just a second. Yeah, hello. I want to believe you can hear me now. It got disconnected for a bit. All right, thank you. Uh, let's see then. Thank you, sir. All right. So I have the USD index up. Thank you for the confirmation. Right. Right. So I always like to start from here so that we can understand the direction of the USD itself, and then we can easily relate this to the rest of the major pairs that we have. Okay. Okay. Right. So this is the USD index on the daily time frame. But before that, I want to show us what we have on the monthly time frame. I've always liked to use that as a reference because it's really important. All right. So I'm also quick to also have that for for us as day traders or even as scalpers or intraday traders, depending on which side you're on, we're really not paying much attention to the weekly or the monthly time frame. All right. And the simple reason is because weekly or monthly time frames are, I believe, in my opinion, are so far that they really don't have much relevance to us as day traders or as scalpers or intraday traders, as the case may be. Okay, so I believe the daily time frame is the best place to start. Usually, I use that as my anchor chart and then tune down to a much lower time frame for entry opportunities. So usually, I'm doing my analysis on either the daily time frame or the 4 hours time frame, and then I can tune down to as low as the 15 minutes or 30 minutes time frame for entry opportunity in that same direction. Okay. However, we can of course use the weekly or the monthly time frame to get some perspective in the market. And for the USD index on the monthly time frame, we have some really interesting setups here that I'm keeping a close eye on. Okay. Now, if you look at this same ascending channel that we have here, it's been on since 2011, early 2011. It's been supporting price. Okay, so it started from here, supported price. Fast forward to here, a few pips away from that, even here as well, give us a double bottom right here. This was back in 2021, and then most recently in 2025, we also have back price back here. All right. Now, what is interesting with this is if you look back on this pattern that we have here, all right. So we got that first touch around January of 2021. We got that first touch at that trend line support. And then price pushed up a little and then came back right back to the trend line. Gave us a double bottom pattern right there. And then uh, pushed really high from that period. Okay. Now, so for this pattern now, we have or we got this high right here, and then immediately price broke above that high with this candle right here, this bullish candle. We got a very aggressive rally right there up to the trend line resistance, right? Now, fast forward to what we see currently. Again, right here, price tested that trend line support right here sometime in June of 2025, tested that trend line support up from there a little, and then came right back to that same point. This was back in September. Again, giving us that double bottom pattern that we saw right here in 2021. And then a break above this high resulted to this aggressive rally that hits the trend line resistance. Okay. Now, by way of technical analysis, we can see a similar scenario right here. So for here now, again, we got this test of that trend line support. Price pushed higher to this resistance at around 100 price level. okay? And then we traced all the way back to that trend line support, creating that double bottom yet again. So moving forward, for me, for the US dollar index, I'll be looking at this 100 price level. I'm going to highlight it yet again. All right. I've been looking at this level very critically, especially because of the resemblance it has with this pattern that happened sometime in 2021. So I'm going to be waiting for price to again break above this 100 level, and then that will be my confirmation that potentially this will be setting up to push really higher. All right, and aggressively, just like we got it back in 2021. So I'll be waiting for that convincing break above the high, which will be at 100 for this current pattern that we have for USD index. Okay, so I'll be keeping a close eye on this 100 level for a confirmed break above that. Okay, now when I see that, that would be pretty convincing that we're going to get the US dollar index will continue to push higher as long as it stays above that 100 level. Okay, that's what I need to see here, just like it happened back in 2021, right? Now that's using what has happened before to potentially predict what we can have, all right? So that's why that is very, very significant for me, okay? Ike Adinde, all right? This is really not fast. Like I said, it's actually an ascending channel for me, all right? And this is the monthly time frame, okay? So, of course, we're going to take that to what we have currently, right? For Adinde, we're going to take that to what we have currently. Right, now, if you look at what we have currently right here, again, price pushed to the 96 support level. And since then, we see the structure for an uptrend playing out quite nicely, all right? So price pushed to this high and then created this low, yet another high, higher than the previous high. Then we got this higher low, then higher high, higher low yet again. There was some struggle around this resistance, but eventually price took out that high, creating even a much higher high, right? Higher than the previous high. So right about we're now seeing some retracement away from that 100. Remember, this is the 100 level that I highlighted on the monthly time frame. Okay, this is the 100 price level that I highlighted on the monthly time frame. So it will be interesting to see some retracements, all right, to see some retracements in the coming days, all right. Now, I'll be expecting the retracement to probably come back to retest this previous high around this area, all right. So I'll be keeping eye on this area right here. Right. Of course, there are no guarantee. We're only using the technical setups I have here to predict potentially what we can have next. Okay, so based on technical analysis, based on the structure of an uptrend, we see it very consistent right here, creating higher highs and higher lows all the way to this high, which is the most recent high that we have. All right, so next to that, we're going to, of course, ideally expect some retracement before we get the next move higher. Okay, so for me, I'm going to be waiting for price to come into this area, all right, for the USD index. Okay, so what that would mean for pairs like Euro USD and Pound USD is that they continue to push higher, all right, for as long as this retracement lasts, okay, for as long as this retracement lasts. So I'll be expecting this retracement to come into this area for the next leg higher, all right? And then, like I said, this 100 resistance will be one to watch, all right? So once we get a convincing break above that resistance at price level 100, then it's potentially setting up for a fantastic move to the upside, all right? Which may end up testing that trend and resistance that I showed us on the monthly time frame. All right. So that's it for the dollar index. That's it for dollar index. Okay. So below 100, it is prone to some pullbacks. All right. It's prone to some pullbacks. And then I also have an expectation for the pullback. Right. So I'm going to take out all of this as we push forward. Excuse me. Okay. So moving on to Euro USD. Moving on to Euro USD, I'm going to put up, I have some fantastic setups on uh, the MC5 trading platform. Okay. All right. So this is what we have for Euro USD. All right. Now, Euro USD is essentially the inverse of the dollar index. Okay. So what it means is that they move in opposite direction. So if the dollar index is creating higher lows and higher highs, we can expect Euro USD to be giving us lower highs and lower lows. And that's what we have right here. Okay. For the Euro USD. Right. So this is Euro USD on the daily time frame. Right. So just like I highlighted the series of higher highs and higher lows for USD index, if you look at the Euro USD, since price tested this high at 1.19, all right, it's been giving us series of lower highs and lower lows as well. Okay, so we have this lower high, and then a push to create a lower low, yet another lower high, and then a lower low yet again, then a lower high, and that also gave us lower low. Okay, so because the dollar index is now retracing away from the 100 resistance, okay, the 100 price level, but also expect Euro USD to push higher. All right, as a result of that retracement that we have for the dollar index. So what does that mean for Euro USD? This is the level to watch. All right, for Euro USD, this is daily time frame anyway. This is the level to watch for Euro USD. All right. Now, with this bearish move that we have seen so far, series of lower highs and lower lows. Now, the question remains whether the Euro USD is headed for this support level at around 1.14535, or are we going to get an early bounce first? Okay. So two things. Number one, will it continue to push lower to test this support level? And if you look back to what happened here back in end of July, early August, all right, we have this what you call fair value gap, all right? We got that right here, all right? Just a second. Right, so if you look at this candle back here, price so far has not returned to filling some of these imbalances that we got back here, all right? Hasn't yet filled in some of the imbalances that we got back there, okay? So, like I said, the question is whether we continue to see a push lower to 1.14535, or we get an early bounce, like I said. But what we need to see, or what we need to keep our eyes on, would be this resistance here, right? With this resistance here at 1.153. Now, what does that mean? If we get it close above 1.153, then it has the potential to push higher, probably towards 1.16, all right? Remember, the dollar index currently is retracing, okay? It's retracing away from the 100 resistance, all right? And while that is happening, because I said the Euro USD is essentially the inverse of the dollar index, it would also mean that the price of Euro USD continue to push higher, all right? While we have the dollar index below 100 resistance. All right. So what I need to see here to make this more convincing for me would be a convincing break above that resistance at 1.153. Okay. So having said that, we now take it to say the 30 minutes time frame. All right. Okay, so on the 30 minutes time frame, we still have eyes on that resistance at 1.153. Price is still below it. But if you look at the 50-period moving average, price is already above that. All right, price is already above that. So what I need to see here again is a close above that resistance. Okay, it's a close above that resistance to confirm that we're going to get a much deeper pullback from the dollar index, and then this will push higher as well. Okay, so this is the level to watch. This is the level to watch. Let me also put the 50-period moving average, the 21-period moving average rather, to see how price interacts with that as well. Okay, above 50, and of course above 21 as well. Okay, so we have eyes on 1.153 resistance. Okay, that's for Euro USD. Now moving on to Pounds USD. Moving on to Pounds USD, of course, similar to Euro USD. And then for Pounds USD here, I would also like to look at what we have on the weekly time frame here. Again, don't forget, we're just using these higher time frames to get some perspectives, okay? We necessarily don't pay much attention to them, as I believe they really don't have much relevance to us as day traders or as scalpers, all right? But if you look at what we have here on the weekly time frame, where price is currently, so I'm going to use this shade to highlight it. It's sitting on this 1.31 support, right? Sitting on this 1.31 support. And then if you look back to how price interacted with 1.31 in the past, you'll see why that level is quite significant for pounds USD. You see it right here, the same 1.31, even right here as well. And even some confluence of support back here as well, and even here as resistance at the same 1.31. Continue to look back, we continue to see how significant that level is, the price of pounds USD. All right. So, having said that, I take it to a daily time frame, and then this is our reference level 1.31 support. Now, if you look at pounds USD as well, we have USD as the counter currency here, okay? And then it's also sitting on the support level. And we started with the dollar index, and we are experiencing some retracement from the dollar index. And pounds USD is also sitting on this support level. So what does that mean? It means that if we get some bullish reversal pattern at this support, then it has the potential to push higher from this support level. However, what would invalidate that would be if we get it close below that support at 1.31. Okay, get it close below that support at 1.31. This 1.31 automatically flips to resistance, and then I expect price to continue to push lower from that resistance. Okay, that's daily. Let's see what it looks like on 30 minutes. Okay, so on 30 minutes time frame, we have our 1.31 level right here. Okay. And then what also looks like just a second. Here right then. Have left shoulder, then potentially this would be the right shoulder for price to push higher. Okay, so for pounds USD, again, we have highs of 1.31 support level, and right now, uh, we have price around the 50 period moving average. Let me see how it interacts with 21 period moving average as well. Okay, so currently we have price at the 21 period moving average. Okay, so on this 30 minutes time frame, if we get a reversal pattern on this 30 minutes time frame, then we'll be looking at price heading towards the 1.31 support level as highlighted earlier. Okay, but this support right here would also be important, okay? Would also be important, this support right here. So if we get a bearish reversal pattern, we get a bearish candle at the end of this 30 minutes, all right? Then we'll be looking at this support, we're looking at the support. If eventually price takes out that support, then it has the potential to push towards that support at 1.31, okay? However, on the other hand, if what we see is a test of this support, and then we get some bullish reversal pattern from this support at around 1.312, then we can get some push to the upside from this support level. All right. So what I need to see on pounds USD is how price reacts at this support. Okay, by the time price hits the support, I'll be waiting to see the reaction we get from there. Because at this support level, if I get some bullish reversal pattern, then that will be my trigger to long pounds USD from that support. Okay, that will be my trigger to long pounds USD. On the other hand, if what we see is a break below that support, then it has the potential, like I said, to push towards the next support at 1.31. All right. That's for pounds USD. All right. Now, don't forget, as a quick reminder, you now have the opportunity to take your trading to the next level with our Rally's social trading platform. Okay. Now, through that social trading platform, you now have the opportunity, like I said, to copy trades of expert traders. All right. Now, these expert traders are present on the platform, on the social trading platform. So, what does this mean? For example, if you have been a struggling trader, or you're just still looking to sharpen your skills when it comes to trading. So in addition to your own real accounts, you now also have the opportunity to copy trades of expert traders, all right, and start growing your portfolio effortlessly. Okay, a few clicks and you're done. All right. So while you're still trying to find your way around the market, you can set up a copy platform for yourself and you begin to earn almost immediately. So the two accounts can be running side by side. Now your own real account, you're still trying to get a hang of the market. And then on the other hand, on the other side, you also have a social account and you have the opportunity to copy trades of expert traders. All right. So it's like using one stone to kill two birds. While you're on with your own real account, you're also getting some income from the social platform. All right. You can talk to your account manager about this so that it can be set up for you. Just a few clicks. It's something that you can even do on your own. Just a few clicks and it's up and running. All right. Okay. So that's it for uh, the social platform, and that's it for pounds USD as well. Pounds USD as well. So moving on to NZD USD. Moving on to NZD USD. It's one that I've mentioned a couple of times on this forum. Again, here we have this descending channel. We have this descending channel. Now, I think they asked earlier that why do I still have these trend lines, even though they impacted price in the past? Now, what I usually do is to just continue to extend the descending channel, ascending channel, depending on which side it is. All right. In this case, I have a descending channel. All right. It didn't start like this. It was here previously, and then as price continues to print lower prices, I just continue to drag it down. Okay, I just continue to drag it down because it is still consistent. It's still consistent. And even for the support side, it is still consistent as well. And that's why I'm still keeping it on the chart for as long as it continues to impact price. I'm going to have it on my chart. All right. Now, if you look at what happened back here, that's what actually made this quite interesting for me. You see how since okay, since July, right? Since July, acted as resistance right here. Fast forward to end of July, back here again, and right here again in August, and eventually in September, price broke out of that trend line, all right? Only for price to return inside of that descending channel yet again, all right? Which typically this resulted to a fake out, all right? Which means a breakout that failed, all right? A breakout that failed. Ideally, when price broke out to the upside, you should have continued to push higher, right? But unfortunately, that didn't happen. It came back right inside of the descending channel, all right? And that typically is what we call a failed breakout, all right? And failed breakouts like this usually triggers an extensive move in the opposite direction. For me, I like to trade this. It's a very high probability trade setup, all right? So when failed breakouts like this happen, it's a fantastic opportunity because ideally, like I said, it usually triggers an extensive move in the opposite direction. And so far, seeing that play out for NZUSD. Then currently, as a result of the dollar strength, you see this continue to print lower prices, right? And then it's now close to the trend line support yet again. All right. What does that tell you? If you look at what happened in the past, every time price got to that trend line support, it pushed higher from there. Right? Back here again, push higher. Back here, push higher. Back here, higher. Back here, higher. Back here, higher. And then I'll be waiting for price to yet again test the trend line support and then look for a buy opportunity right there. Right? Look for a buy opportunity right there. Okay. So that's for NZD USD. Now, this is the daily time frame. I'm going to tune down to a lower one. See 30 minutes. Now, from the daily, we have eyes on this resistance, of course. Comes in around price level 0.572. Okay, this resistance. Right, so I take that to 30 minutes time frame. Okay, so we got this lower low, created lower high, and then lower low as well. So you see price pushing to create a lower high, right? To create yet another lower high. Okay. So back here, then here as well. Right. So this supported price, when price hits that level, it pushed higher from there. And then we got a break below this previous lower low. So right about now, it's acting as a lower high, right? So what I need to see here, for NZD would be some selling pressure around this lower high. Okay, I need to see some selling pressure around this lower high. Okay, now if we don't get that, what does that mean? I need to see a bearish reversal pattern at this current price level. If I get that, then that would be my cue to short NZD USD. All right, that would be my cue to short NZD USD. Now, if we don't get that, if eventually we see price take out that resistance, all right, if price takes out that resistance, then I'll be looking towards this area, all right? We're looking towards this area to short NZD USD to take a sell opportunity on NZD USD, all right? Right, so that's for NZD USD. Yeah, Clement, for the copy platform, the okay, we call those expert traders providers. All right. So if you check on that platform, each provider has set a certain minimum requirement, all right, for you to be able to copy their trades. All right. So we have different requirements. There are some that will take as low as 100,000. There are some that will take 500 and some that will take ₦1 million, all right, depending on your capacity and what you're looking to get from the market. All right. Remember, these are expert traders that have been onboarded on the platform, so you have the opportunity to copy their trades. All right. Um, of course, Joseph, I trade news. Definitely, I trade news. I try as much as possible to align the news with my trade setup. So even before the news, I'm looking at the technical setup that I have even before the news. Okay, so I trade news. Joseph. Right. So that's the expectation for NZD USD. Looking at this level at 0.56854. All right. If I see some selling pressure at this current level, see some bearish reversal patterns, all right, then that will be my trigger to short from this current level. However, if what we get is a close above that level, then I'll be looking towards this area here to short NZD USD. Okay, if price takes out that resistance. Okay, you're welcome, sir. Um, the news dropping about euro currently. Okay, so on this for this NZUSD on this 30 minutes time frame, what we need to see is to wait out this candle to close, okay? Because a lot can happen in 30 minutes, right? A lot can happen in 30 minutes. So that's why we need to wait for this candle to start and finish. And because we're on 30 minutes time frame, it's going to take 30 minutes for it to start and finish. And then if we get our confirmation candle, then that would be the trigger to short NZUSD from the current level, as I said. All right. So USD JPY right here, USD JPY right here. Okay. Now for USD JPY, I remember when we had price around this area, was telling us that the longer it takes for an asset to range like this, all right, the more aggressive the resulting breakout usually is. Okay, so we got this period of consolidation right here, lasted for about, let's check it, from July up until September. Okay, that's about 2 months. We got this period of consolidation for about 2 months, and eventually price broke out of that consolidation, came back to that trend line support yet again, and then we got that aggressive rally, which is now back at that trend line resistance. All right. Now, if you look back to how price reacted to that trend line resistance in the past, we got it back here. This was early October, back here yet again, early August, back here yet again, early May, back here yet again, early April, and here as support in March. All right. That's why this for me is significant, okay? And that's why I'm still keeping it on my chart, all right? That's why I'm still keeping it on my chart. Okay, like I said, initially this trend line wasn't this long. I continue to extend it based on how price reacts, all right? So currently price is back here. Again, this is daily time frame. And like I said, I believe in my opinion, for me, this is where I like to start, carry out my analysis right here, either the daily time frame or the 4 hours time frame. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a structure to work with. Okay, I'm looking for a structure to work with. And what does that mean? It's either an uptrend or a downtrend, all right? Then I can take that to as low as 15 minutes or 30 minutes time frame for entry opportunity, all right? For entry opportunity. Because I also believe that once you master the art of analyzing multiple time frames, you'll continue to get a clearer and more accurate picture of the market, all right? And this is expected to lead to smarter and more profitable decisions, all right? And of course, we don't get too comfortable with a specific trade plan, right? All scenarios, we like to consider all scenarios equally, all right? Given the potential for rapid changes in current market conditions, all right? That's why we, as much as possible, try to consider all scenarios. Now, looking at USD JPY, back here at resistance, okay? Back here at resistance, I will see that price is now beginning to push away from that resistance, all right? And it is expected, okay? It is expected. The last time price hits that resistance, we saw this sell-off. And now that is back here, also expect a sell-off to happen yet again. And then I'll be looking towards this level here, this support level here, around 152.8, right? We're looking towards that level around 152.8. Okay, so that's the daily time frame. Let's take that to 30 minutes now. Okay, so we take that to 30 minutes time frame. And then this is our reference price level, 152.8. Okay, currently we see a bullish candle currently, all right? And then we also have the last low that was broken, last support level that was broken on this 30 minutes time frame. Now, on this 30 minutes time frame, remember, we're now looking for entry opportunity. I would also want to enter in the direction of the trend, okay? And to enter in the direction of the trend. Now, let's go back to daily time frame. What do we have? Of course, this is typical of an uptrend. Since we got that break above this consolidation, okay? And then price hits resistance right here. So because of that resistance, we expect some retracement, okay? We expect some retracement, all right? Because of that resistance. All right, so what does that mean on the 30 minutes time frame? So I'm going to be looking at this price level around 153.7, right? Approximately. So around that area. So this push to the upside now. I'm going to be looking at how price behaves around this level. Okay, once it hits here, we're going to be looking at what we have, right? Because from this price level now, if we get some bearish reversal pattern at this price level at around 153.698, then the retracement would be much deeper towards 152.8. If, on the other hand, we see a close back above that level, then we push even higher, maybe to retest that trend line resistance yet again before we see yet another selling. But I'm going to be looking at how price interacts with this level. Okay, once it hits that level, I'm going to be looking at how price interacts with it so I can make a decision for USD JPY. Right? So next up, AUD USD. Okay, so for AUD USD, again, AUD is base and USD is counter currency. Okay, and then currently price is sitting on this support, 0.65090. Okay, so we take that to 30 minutes. All right, so from this support now, as long as price is above that support, then it has the potential to push higher. Okay, as long as price stays above that support. And remember, this also aligns with our analysis for the dollar index. Okay, uh, currently it is close to the 100 resistance level. All right, started with the dollar index close to the 100 resistance level. Okay, and then we see how price is now beginning to push away from that resistance to create a higher low for a new higher high. Okay, so while that is ongoing, you can expect a pair like AUD USD to push higher, all right, to take advantage of that retracement that we have for the dollar index. Okay, so as long as it stays above 0.6509, then we can expect it to continue to push higher. All right, and then if it continues to push higher, I'll be looking at this level to take my sell. Okay, I'll be looking at this level to take my sell. However, if on the other hand we get a close below that support, then maybe join up for uh, trend continuation. Join up for trend continuation below 0.6509 support. All right, that's for AUD USD. I want to look at USD CAD as well. I want to look at USD CAD as well. And then we look at oil. And that's where we draw the curtain for today. Okay. So if you look at what's going on with USD CAD, again, I have this ascending channel right here. All right. I have this ascending channel right here. You see, ascending channel right here as well. And then for NZUSD, this is a descending channel, all right, for obvious reasons, okay? So back on USD CAD. So again, if you look at USD CAD, during this period, we also saw a consolidation phase, all right, during this period. I remember I said the longer a consolidation phase lasts, the more aggressive the resulting breakout usually is. So eventually this broke out to the upside, and then you see how fantastic this has been. And then we also have this trend line resistance, okay? Also have this trend line resistance, and we also have this trend line support as well, okay, for USD CAD. Now, USD here is the base currency, okay? USD here is the base currency. And then it's also hitting this resistance at 1.406 and has also created a double top pattern, okay? Say a double top pattern right here. So what do I need to see here? I need to see some selling pressure around that resistance, okay? I need to see some bearish reversal patterns around that resistance, all right? To short USD CAD. And remember, this also aligns with our analysis for USD index, pushing away from the 100 resistance level, okay? And for USD CAD, what would also invalidate this would be a close above resistance at 1.406. All right. So we take that to 30 minutes now. Right, taking that to 30 minutes. Remember, this is our reference price level, 1.406 and 406. So above that, it will be bullish, and then below that, we'll continue to take sales. All right, continue to take sales below 1.046. All right. Lastly, I look at oil before we call it a day. Looking at oil because there's been some ongoing concerns around OPEC. There's been some announcements. Initially, they were set to increase production beginning of November. As it is right now, it's now pushed forward to uh, December, right? It's now pushed forward to December. So starting in December, we're expecting about 137,000 barrels per day increase in production, all right? And if that is the expectation, that means we're going to experience surplus, all right? And that would naturally cause price to fall, okay? Or cause price to fall, okay? And that's why I'm pretty much interested in oil. It's also the technicals that we have here also aligns with the fundamentals, all right? So for me, so we have this level here. Just a second. I'm trying to make it more interesting for us. All right. So I have this support here. This is oil. I have this support here. You know how profitable oil can be. So I like to catch it. I like to really catch oil. All right. When it's about to happen, I like to really catch oil. Pretty much profitable. Okay. So I'm looking at this support level right here. And then we also have resistance right here. Okay. And then we have it trading inside of this squeeze. All right. You see this shallow end, right? I'm going to show us, is it USD JPY? I hope I find it. Fine, fantastic. USD CHF, USD CHF. Now, see this. If you remember, I was highlighting this same triangle pattern. Now we have this trend line right here. I'm going to highlight it so that you can understand what I'm talking about. I'm even going to change the color. Right. You see this triangle right here, this trend line, this purple trend line, this purple horizontal line as well. Okay. So we see how price is trading in between that triangle. Okay. Here as resistance, and here as support. All right. And then it came inside of this squeeze, and eventually we got a break to the upside. Okay. We got a break to the upside, and then we saw this rally all the way up. Okay. Now, if you take that to what we have for oil, take that to what we have for oil. Again, we see this squeeze, we see this trend line right here, and then this horizontal support line. Okay. So eventually, I'm expecting price to either break to the upside or break to the downside. All right, or break to the downside. Now, if you look at the fundamentals that we have around oil right now, it's in a way supports a move to the downside, okay, because we have an expectation for uh, increased output, and uh, that would mean surplus, all right? And when it's surplus, it means price is going to crash, all right? So that's the expectation. So for oil, in the coming days, I'm going to be looking out for a break below that support, all right? And then That would be my trigger to short oil. That would be my trigger to short oil. Okay. Now this is daily time frame. We take it to 30 minutes. We still have the same expectation. Have the same expectation. So this is the level I'm watching. This is the level I'm watching very closely. All right. This is the level I'm watching very closely. And I'm going to take maximum advantage of that move should it happen eventually. Like I said, remember, we do not get too comfortable with a specific trade plan, as we like to consider all scenarios equally. Okay. But this is the expectation that I have for oil. Okay. All right. So this is where we draw the curtain for today. This is where we draw the curtain for today's edition of our morning market review. And don't forget, as a reminder again, we now have the copy trading platform very much ongoing. This allows you, like I said, to take your trading to the next level. Okay. We have who we call providers that we have onboarded on the platform. And then through a few clicks, you have the opportunity to copy their trades. All right. You have the opportunity to copy their trade, copy platform to your, and then begin to earn almost immediately. All right. You can reach out to your account manager for this, for the setup. I promise you it's something you can do even by yourself with a few clicks of your gadgets. All right. Thank you very much for taking the time out to join us on today's edition of the Morning Market Review. Do plan to join us the same time tomorrow, Wednesday, the 5th day of November, again, 2025. Thank you, and I wish us a great trading day.